Greetings, it's your man Aeryk with the A, a Y, and a K, back with another message of hope. Just want to shout you guys out. Want to remind you that you are more than enough. Today's topic, we're going to discuss forgiveness. And so, as always, I want to try to, whatever the topic is, I'm going to attempt to give you a working definition so we can all be on the same page. Now, one definition I found for forgiveness, it says, the action or process of forgiving or being forgiven. But I like this one better. 2, willfully putting aside feelings of resentment towards someone who has committed a wrong, been unfair or hurtful, or otherwise harms you in some way. So I like that one better because it speaks of forgiveness being an action, not just a word that's out there. And forgiveness is very important. Sometimes it's emotionally, depending on the offense, who the offender is, when it happened, how it happened, and why it happened. Sometimes emotionally, it's hard to forgive. And sometimes we feel like forgiveness is some sort of weakness or that we're soft, but forgiveness is so necessary. I want to read this. It says, forgiving someone can be beneficial to your own mental and emotional well-being. And I just wanted to mention, well, let me start off with this. And we've heard this before. Maybe you have, maybe you haven't. But forgiveness is for you. The act of forgiveness does not mean that the offense didn't happen, that you agree with the offender, or that what they did was right. People can do some jacked up stuff, intentionally, unintentionally. Some people are just nasty, mean, and negative in their behavior, and they actually harm us. They hurt us. Some people are intentional. But to forgive takes back your power, because every time you live in unforgiveness, that person has power over you. It's one of those things when someone has harmed you and you have not forgiven them, whenever you have that thought, whenever someone brings up that person's name, if you ever happen to run into that person again, you could be out having a great time with some amazing people who absolutely love you, root for you, and have your best interest at heart. And then the mention of that person's name or seeing that person or the thoughts of something will take you back to that, the scene of the crime, if you will, to that offense. And that's not fair to you, nor is it fair to the people around you, nor is it fair to the people who are destined to come into your life. And I can speak for myself. I've had to forgive a lot of people. And forgiveness does not mean that I have to let you back into my life. Sometimes, depending on the person, the foundation of the friendship, the offense, sometimes you let people back in. But it's like ripping a piece of paper. Once you rip a piece of paper and time has passed, no matter how much you try, those edges have frayed. It will never go back to where it was. So you can actually let people back into your life, but your friendship will never be the same. And again, it all depends on the foundation of the friendship, the offense, when it happened, how it happened, with whom it happened, or where it happened. But you can also wholeheartedly accept someone's apology. And you can say, this is just an example. When someone apologizes to you and they're sincere, you can say, thank you. I appreciate your apology, and I'm grateful that you learned the lesson. Sorry that it was at my expense. Or you can even say, especially depending on how you weather the storm, I'm glad it was at my expense and not someone else who would have taken you out. And I'm grateful that I survived the storm. No matter how hurtful it was, I take back my power. So you can forgive someone wholeheartedly, and never ever see them again, never speak their name again, never have a conversation with them again. It's your choice. I always say this: you're driving a car. So, like when people say we take the high road, you're driving this car. So you decide what route you want to take. There's some days you're gonna want to drive on the high road and look on the mountains and look over down there. Sometimes you're gonna drive that valley and go up through the dirt roads, and yeah, so you're in charge of this. But I'll say this. Um Again, forgiving someone, it gives you your power back. It also starts the process of healing. Um, Forgiveness is good for your mental health, for your emotional health, for your spiritual health. Um, it's good for establishing and developing new, meaningful, powerful relationships. Holding on to the anger is like a cancer that eats you up from the inside. And a lot of times people don't. There may not be there. I mean, we can Google a whole lot of stuff. We can do research on a whole lot of stuff. But just in regular conversations, a lot of times people cannot tell you how to forgive. And again, every trespass is different. So it's going to require a different level of fitness, a different level of forgiveness. And being that we're all different people we respond to stimuli differently, we're all going to have different reactions to whatever the offense was. And so our forgiveness is not going to look the same. But it's very important that you find a way to reconcile what forgiveness looks like for you and how you're going to dole it out, if you will, to the offender. And again, just because you forgive someone does not mean that they have to have access in any way, shape, or form in your life. It's about your freedom. And like I said before, it doesn't mean that you condone the behavior. It doesn't mean that you let go of the behavior. Because again, some people do intentionally do some awful, mean, disgusting things. And again, sometimes there are witnesses to that behavior, and sometimes they're not. But you have to, if you want to move ahead. The reality is this: when you're a great person, when you're a good person, when you're doing things from the heart, they've already lost by losing you with their disrespect. And whether anybody else saw it or whether it was just the two of you, um, the reality of how the universe works, how spirit works, how the law of uh, what they say karma works, it will be shown, and you have not lost anything when you're operating from good places, when you're operating in that state of forgiveness. And another thing I want to say, I want to be clear because we often talk about forgiving folk. Unless you have a brain injury or dementia or something like that, we don't forget. Our minds, our memories are meant to remember stuff. So you can forgive and not forget. And you can forgive, not forget, but you don't have to stay present. You don't have to be triggered all the time by those memories. And you don't have, when you forgive, you don't keep bringing it up, because bringing it up does not punish it may, depending on who the person was, it may make them feel some kind of way. But each time you bring it up, it re-victimizes you. It takes you back to that pain, to that place, to the scene of the crime, if you will. So you have to forgive and just not let it go. Because again, we remember, but you have to let it go from the forefront and allow yourself to breathe, to grow, to heal, to experience the newness that life has to offer. I'm looking for, yeah. Oh, I know I was about to say before I got sidetracked, and please forgive me for getting sidetracked, but we're just having a real conversation here. Um, we talk about forgiving other people, but a lot of times people don't understand, they don't tell us because they themselves don't understand the value of forgiving yourself. Give yourself the same grace, the same compassion, the same empathy and understanding, the same uh what's that? The same leeway that we give other people. It's so important to forgive yourselves, to have real conversations with yourselves, and to say, hey, I recognize where I was unfair to myself. I recognize where I went along to get along, and the price I had to pay for that. And I say, each time that you go along to get along, or you stay silent, um, to keep the peace, you're keeping the peace for unpeaceful people. And what you do is you disrupt the peace within yourself. You disrespect your own peace. And then one day you wake up and realize you've got all these deficits from where you deny yourself the authenticity of your truth. So it's very, very important to forgive yourself as you forgive others, and to learn the lessons, and to be okay with the lessons, to trust the process, to trust that no matter how bad it looks, no matter how bad it feels, it's all working for your good. It's working for your benefit. And if we're paying attention, we're not focused on the end, where we're enjoying the journey. We can see the ups, the downs, the goods, the bads, the in-betweens. And it makes us more well-rounded people. So today's lesson, if you will, our conversation is about forgiveness. Again, I don't have all the answers, so this is an active conversation. That's why I ask you, I invite you all to comment down, and let's have a dialogue about what forgiveness means to you, what it looks like to you, or even we all kind of help each other on the things that we did when we were offended in certain ways. And if you want to, you can talk about your offenses in the comments, and let's have a discussion. Let's help each other heal each other. Um, Again, if you like this kind of if you like this kind of content, please like and share, and also subscribe to my channel and click the notification link, because like I said, I'm going to try to be much more active with presenting commentary, presenting content. A lot of times I feel like I only want to come to you guys when something is like there's a fire in my spirit. And a lot of times, unfortunately, I get inspiration while I'm out doing something, and I don't have my camera and all this stuff. And I want to give you the fire when I got it. So sometimes I have to sit down and calm myself down and get back into the space so that I could present this thing in a way where you feel the passion, you feel the energy. So again, thank you for watching. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys back on another day, if you will. So thank you for watching, and we'll catch up next time.